Stick your headset on and disappear into the most immersive worlds in gaming. What makes an immersive game? Is it putting on your headset and disappearing into another universe? Is it forgetting your mouse is there, partly because it's super light, and partly because it no longer feels like you're playing a game on your PC, but living an experience, no matter how weird that may be? Good tech can help you become totally immersed, but what are the games that help you abandon real life and slip away into something new? Well, let's go on a journey and find out. If you enjoy this trip, why not subscribe to the Logitech G channel for more journeys through the world of video games? For now though, here are some of the most immersive worlds in games.
Excellent, then let's go!
At one point or another, we've all dreamed of space travel, strapping into a ship and jetting off to explore infinite space. Well, nowhere does flying through the stars feel more immersive than Elite Dangerous, especially when you hook up a HOTAS. Using a flight stick makes everything feel as if it's in your hands. You're no longer controlling a game, but a plane. A space plane.
3, 2,
Flight sim gear makes each dogfight come to life as you battle, getting that precision and control you need to dominate the solar system and keep on track as you spin past planets. Elite Dangerous has modelled a 1-to-1 scale Milky Way that you can explore every inch of. It's totally open-ended, which teamed up with the immersion from a flight stick means you won't be bothered about coming down to land anytime soon. Well, not on this planet anyway. So boot up your ship and create a new life in the stars.
Well, that's a result. We might just get this rust bucket space-worthy.
If you're looking to land somewhere in the vast reaches of space and still feel fully immersed, then Alien Isolation is top of the list. Set 15 years after the events of the film, the Alien universe is just as terrifying as it was all those years ago, and still somewhere you kind of want to visit, but only digitally. It isn't a horror that's only scary when you turn the lights out. Even a bright sunny day will start to disappear as your focus hones in on the beeps of the motion tracker, watching for that telltale circle.
What the hell do you think we're gonna find here, Marlo?
Something big.
Pop on a headset though, and you are in the Sevastopol. The whir of doors opening, the voice of an android from the darkness.
That is a restricted area.
And of course, the thudding in the vents above. Every moment feels real, everything around you tangible, and every sound all too close. Wait, what was that? The continent's rich and living world is part of what makes The Witcher 3 such an immersive game. Sunsets melt across the horizon as you move from day to night, the wind whips through the undergrowth as you explore, and NPCs shout things at you when you walk past.
My, what a freak.
Thanks. Those vocal people also have more than a few voice actors and lines too, making each one seem like a different person. No shame to Skyrim there, Tamriel is still an incredibly immersive world in its own right too. It's not just the voices in Witcher that make NPCs feel special though. Their lives change as you play too. If you fail to solve a quest or just forget about it, someone could die before you remember. You feel less like the world's protagonist and more like a passerby traversing a real place, albeit a scary one.
Something's coming. Get ready.
Subnautica isn't only on this list for the pun of it being a game where you are literally immersed in an ocean, but because of the world created. Crash landing on an alien planet isn't wholly original, but also it's not something we ever grow tired of, especially when it comes to the lush seascape of Subnautica.
This biome supports extensive biodiversity.
This is an open world to explore and mine for resources as you try to survive. Coming across a new fish is just as exciting the 10th time as it is the first, and after your introductory attack, you won't trust the sea life so easily again. It is beautiful but terrifying, just like nature in real life. Subnautica is one of those games that after you've taken the plunge, you wish you could go back and do it all over again anew. Maybe the bonk on the head from crash landing will do it. Drifting through the water, you can quickly feel yourself drifting away from reality, as all you care about is what's around the underwater bend.
Your probability of survival has just increased to unlikely, but plausible.
If The Witcher's fantasy horse riding in the countryside with fish people isn't immersive enough for you, how about something more realistic and historical? Red Dead Redemption 2 has plenty of cowboy shooting and action, but between the emotional story and thrilling combat is a world you'll absolutely love to get lost in.
Yeah, regular dandy and a charm.
A world of peaceful woodland rides, snowy mountain views, and puppies to pet. While all beautiful, is the ever-changing weather, light, and mood that makes these experiences so special. Walking through the bayou with golden light streaming down one evening might be the only time you encounter a moment like that in the hours of playing. And that's why it's so immersive. It feels real, each moment feels unique. Beyond that, of course, are the NPCs populating these vistas, each with stories to tell and fleshing out the humanity we so crave after some peaceful solitude. Although maybe this is a little too real. While Assetto Corsa is an immersive sim in itself, it's when you sit down with a wheel, pedals, or even a full rig that it really comes to life. Negotiating turns in cockpit view as sunlight beams through or rain whips past like you're actually there. And don't even get us started on the mechanics. Okay, well, we're talking now. While it's welcoming enough to get you hooked, it does take time to master. You'll have your L plates on for a good few laps and just as many crashes as you get used to handling a realistic sim. With a force feedback wheel using the G923 with True Force, you'll actually get a feel for weight and handling as you take those corners. Gripping onto your wheel for dear life as you realise you're not quite the Lewis Hamilton you'd imagined, and your reaction times aren't exactly slick yet. Luckily though, that's where the immersion stops, and you can walk away from the crash and have a soothing cup of tea. Inside may not have vast plains to explore or artful sunsets to watch, but it is just as immersive while keeping you on one path. It's a 2.5D platformer set in a dystopian future that follows a young boy running for his life. And while the platforming and puzzles could have an entry on their own, what really makes it stand out is the atmosphere. The sound of a lorry crunching on gravel as it drives out of view, the rain dripping around you, and the moments of light from a car's headlights or a searching machine filling the dark. Like Playdead's previous hit Limbo, it's dark and brooding, but this time you can see a full, ever-changing world looming behind you, feeding into the story. Every moment builds a realistic, if horrifying, world. Despite never speaking to anyone or reading anything, Inside keeps you hooked and totally immersed throughout forests, rotting farms, and crumbling cities. This entry could easily span any of the BioShock games, but there's something particularly immersive about Rapture. While Columbia is beautiful and bright, with kids waving baguettes and NPCs enjoying life, well, some NPCs at least, Rapture's dark and terrifying world has even more to draw you in.
Plasma's changed everything.
You feel just as lost as your character, really living the experience.
Steady now. Your genetic code is being rewritten.
And what an experience it is. From the first moment of seeing Rapture spring to light underwater like a neon coral reef, 2 seconds later facing a splicer crawling their way in to kill you.
How do you like that, sister?
The world building doesn't start small, it drags you underwater and keeps you interested with every turn of the crumbling corner. We've never been more surprised at how much we want to explore somewhere horrible. Big Daddies can't stop us checking every room we encounter to find just a few more details of Rapture. Okay, maybe they can. Run! Run! Outer Wilds may be another open world addition to the list, but none of them so far have been quite so open. Other than knowing you need to go into your spaceship, there isn't really a goal or direction or even a quest laid out for you here. Instead, you jet off into space after some questionable flying technique and are totally free to explore an unknown solar system. Then when you do land, there's entire planets with new secrets to uncover, aliens to meet, and, of course, marshmallows to toast. Freedom is what makes it immersive to begin with. Then the ever-changing planets populate each 22-minute loop with intrigue. Finally, there's the fellow astronauts whose lives you intersect. They carry on strumming a banjo even if you're not there to toast a marshmallow. You're merely another alien just trying to make your way in the weird and wonderful immersive world like any of them. what could be more immersive than NPCs commenting on your smell if you haven't bathed recently enough in a playthrough?
You'll smell them before you see them.
Kingdom Come Deliverance has all the nice countryside and birdsong of other games mentioned, but it's how realistic the rest of the world is beyond rolling hills that makes it so immersive. Henry starts out as useless as you are, and you have to train using a mouse and keyboard as much as he does with a wooden sword to actually get better.
There's a big difference between a wooden sword and a real one.
Swinging a weapon is tough, shooting a bow and arrow is harder, but through patience and perseverance you get better, just like real fencing, although Henry does it in a historical location, while some of us do it in the woods dressed up as fantasy elves.
You're full of surprises.
Magical races aside, this is the closest we'll get to living in medieval Europe, trough washing and all. So those were some of the most immersive gaming worlds. Let us know in the comments what games you disappear into, like this video if you enjoyed, and subscribe to Logitech G for more videos on all things gaming.
You alright, boyo? First time plasma's a real kick from a mule, but there's nothing like a fistful of lightning now, is there?